Hi and welcome to the Math Walkthrough on Cambridge IGCSE 2019 Paper 4 58041. Question 1. Translate shape T by the vector -1, 6 and label the image A. Shape T will need to move one step to its left and 6 grids upwards to form shape A. Next, rotate shape T about the point 5, 3 through 180 degrees and label the image B. Start by plotting the point 5, 3. This is shown as the red dot on the grid. This now serves as the pivot point to rotate shape T into shape B. Next, describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. Start by drawing two lines, each joining identical corners of the image being transformed. The intersect of the corners should tell us that shape A is being rotated about the point 4.56 through 180 degrees to form shape B. Next, reflect shape T in the line y equals x. Start by drawing the line y equals x. This is the red line on the grid. Then you project an equidistant perpendicular line to formalize the reflected shape T. Next, find the matrix that represents the transformation in part B1. This is the matrix that would represent swapping x with y and vice versa. Question 2. The table shows some values for y equals x cubed plus 3x squared plus 2. Complete the table. The value of y is obtained by plugging the value of x into the equation. Next question. On the grid, draw the graph of the equation. You can do this by first plotting the blue dots, with each representing the xy coordinates as stated on the table. Then you would draw a curved line across each of the blue dots in succession. Next question. Use your graph to solve the equation. When an expression is equated to 0, this is like saying to identify a point on the line where its y component is a 0. This is also circled in blue on the graph, and it represents the coordinates -3.2, 0. Next question. By drawing a suitable straight line, solve the equation. For this question, we'll need to rearrange the equation with the expression on the left-hand side being the same as what's stated on question 2b, and all else as an expression on the right-hand side, this now being -2x. Therefore, the line that needs to be drawn is y equals -2x. Then, we identify the x value of the intersect to solve the equation. Next question. For the stated range, the equation has three solutions and k is an integer. Write down a possible value of k. To have three solutions, we'll require a vertical offset that will see to the line cutting the x-axis at 3 points. Against the point 0, 2, the offset k must be at least 3. And against the point -2, 6, the offset k must be at most 5. Therefore, the integer k can only be 3, 4, or 5. Question 3. The diagram shows a field ABCDE. Calculate the parameter of the field ABCDE. By identifying ED and DC using the Pythagoras formula, the parameter is the sum of its 5 sides. Next, calculate angle ABD. Apply the law of cosine to obtain the angle ABD. Next question, calculate angle CBD. Apply basic trigonometry for right angle triangle to identify angle CBD. Next question, the point C is due north of the point B. Find the bearing of D from B. This would be the angles 360 degrees minus angle CBD. Next question, calculate the area of the field ABCDE. This total area is the sum of the areas for x, y, and z. Question 4a. The test scores of 14 students are shown below. Find the range, mode, median, and mean of the test scores. The range is the difference between the highest captured test score and the lowest captured test score, in this case 27 and 20. The mode is the test score with the highest frequency. Having arranged the test scores in ascending order, the median is the average between the 7th and 8th test scores. The mean is obtained by multiplying each test score with its frequency and this total being divided by 14. Next, a student is chosen at random. Find the probability that this student has a test score of more than 24. With only 3 students having a test score larger than 24, the probability is 3 over 14. Next, Petra records the score in each test she takes. The mean of the first n scores is x. The mean of the first n minus 1 scores is x plus 1. Find the nth score in terms of n and x. The nth score is simply the total score after nth occasion minus the total score after n minus 1 occasions. Question 4c. During 1 year, the midday temperatures T degrees Celsius in Zedford were recorded. The table shows the results and calculate an estimate of the mean. The estimated mean can be obtained by multiplying the midpoint of each temperature by its number of days, and this total being divided by the overall number of days. Next, complete the histogram to show the information in the table. Here, each blue bar is being plotted by taking the number of days being divided by the range of the temperature. Question 5. The diagram shows the surface of a garden pond made from a rectangle and 2 semicircles. The rectangle measures 3 meter by 1.2 meter. Calculate the area of this surface. The required area is the sum of the rectangle and 2 semicircles. The 2 semicircles can be consolidated to form a circle. Next, the pond is a prism and the water in the pond has a depth of 20 centimeters. Calculate the number of liters of water in the pond. We start by identifying the volumetric space, which is the area being multiplied by its depth. Then we will convert this volumetric space into liters. Next question. After rainfall, the number of liters of water in the pond is 1007. Calculate the increase in the depth of water in the pond. Depth of water increases in the same ratio as that of the number of liters. Question 6. Given there are 240 students in the school, with 120 students playing football, 40 students playing baseball, and 90 students playing football but not baseball, complete the Venn diagram to show this information. Here, the sequence in completing the Venn diagram is crucial. Step 1 involves documenting the 90 students playing football but not baseball. Step 2 involves documenting the remaining 30 out of 120 students playing football. Step 3 involves documenting the remaining 10 out of 40 students playing baseball. And finally, Step 4 involves documenting the 110 out of the 240 students in the entire school. Next, find the expression. The expression represents students not playing football and not playing baseball. This is 110 on the Venn diagram. Next question. A student in the school is chosen at random. Find the probability that this student plays baseball but not football. This would be 10 out of the total population of 240, and when simplified becomes 1 over 24. Next question. 2 students who play baseball are chosen at random. Find the probability that they both also play football. The probability of a student that's already playing baseball that also plays football is 30 over 40. When choosing 2 students in succession of this manner, this probability is 30 over 40 times 29 over 39. Question 7a. From the given equation, find S when t equals 26.5, u equals 104.3, and a equals minus 2.2. Do just plug the numbers for each of the variables into the equation to arrive at the answer. Next, rearrange the formula to write a in terms of u, t, and s. It is common practice to move a to the left-hand side of the equation, as it will also ease in the required rearrangement. Question 7d. The difference between the areas of the two rectangles is 62 cm squared. Show that x squared plus 2x minus 63 is 0. As mentioned, you want to subtract the area of the larger rectangle with the area of the smaller rectangle and equate this to 62. Then simplify this expression. Next question. Factorize the given expression. We should come to the product of x plus 9 and x minus 7. Next, solve the equation to find the difference between the parameters of the two rectangles. With the factored expression being equated to 0, x is 7 and not minus 9, as minus 9 is a negative integer and does not apply here. And with x equals 7, the difference in parameters can be calculated as being 20 cm. Question 8a. The price of a book increases from 250 to 265. Calculate the percentage increase. It gets us to 6%. Next, Scott invests $500 for 7 years at a rate of 1.5% per year simple interest. Calculate the value of his investment at the end of the 7 years. Being simple interest, the final investment is 500 times 0.015 times 7 plus 500. Question 8c. In a city, the population is increasing exponentially at a rate of 1.6% per year. Find the overall percentage increase at the end of 20 years. Percent increase can be identified through 1.016 to the order of 20 minus 1. Next question. The population of a village is 6,400. The population is decreasing exponentially at the rate of r% per year. After 22 years, the population will be 2607. Find the value of r. We start by equating the product of 6,400 and d to the order of 22 with 2607. We obtain r by subtracting d from 1. Question 9. From the three given functions, find the function gh2. This would be inserting 3 to the order of x into the x within x squared plus 1. Next question. Find the inverse of function x. Here you start expressing the function of x as y, then rearranging such that x is expressed in the form of y. The inverse of the function x takes on this expression. Next, find the values of a, b, and c for the function gg. Here you start by expressing the function of gg in its simplest form, then associate the integers for the various orders of x respectively. Next question, find x when the function of hf is equal to 81. Here you want to start equating the function of hf with 81. Incidentally, 81 is also 3 to the order of 4. This means that 7x minus 2 is equal to 4, which in turn leads us to get x being equal to 6 over 7. Question 10. The volume of each of the following solids is 1000 cm cubed. Calculate the value of x for each solid. A cube with side length x cm. With x cubed being 1000, x is 10. Next question. A sphere with a radius of x cm. To obtain the answer, just equate the formula for the volume of a sphere with 1000. Then find x in accordance. Next, calculate the value of x for a cone with radius x cm and slant height of x to the root 5 cm. Start by identifying h with the Pythagoras formula. Next, equate the formula of a cone with 1000 and solve for x in accordance. Next, calculate the value of x for a prism with a right angle triangle as its cross section. Again here, equate the formula for a prism with 1000 and solve for x in accordance. Question 11. Brad traveled from his home in New York to Chamonix. He left his home at 16:30 and traveled by taxi to the airport in New York. This journey took 55 minutes and had an average speed of 18 kilometers per hour. He then traveled by plane to Geneva, departing from New York at 22:15. The flight path can be taken as an arc of a circle of radius 6,400 kilometers with a sector angle of 55.5 degrees. The local time in Geneva is 6 hours ahead of the local time in New York. Brad arrived in Geneva at 11:25 the next day. To complete his journey, Brad traveled by bus from Geneva to Chamonix. This journey started at 1300 hours and took 1 hour 36 minutes. The average speed was 65 kilometers per hour. The local time in Chamonix is the same as the local time in Geneva. Find the overall average speed of Brad's journey from his home in New York to Chamonix. It is best that we start by mapping each of what is said onto the table below. To the airport, the journey took 55 minutes and was at an average speed of 18 kilometers per hour. To Geneva, we could tell the time taken based on the difference in the two clocks as well as the difference in the timings of the two local times, and its distance from the flight path that is taken as an arc of the circle of radius 6,400 kilometers with a sector angle of 55.5 degrees. And to Chamonix, the journey is said to take 1 hour 36 minutes and is at an average speed of 65 kilometers per hour. Next, we complete the distance in km column of the table for Brad's travel to the airport and to Chamonix to identify the total distance he has traveled, followed by the total duration of Brad's trip as determined by the start and end times considering the time difference. The average speed is simply the total distance divided by this total duration. That's all for this walkthrough. Bye for now.